What's next? Who's next?
Wastewater. Wastewater.
What page?
Mike, you wanna talk about your budget?
Mike needs a cut.
That's reduced from the last.
Good afternoon.
77?
77. It was touched on when Rich was up there, that 18,500 shows up in, it was supposed to show up in 4 budgets, it only shows up in 3. So Ron's kindly agreed to, right now?
What do you want me to do again?
So the 18,500 doesn't show up in any line in Ron's or in wastewater. But that was the original intent, was it was gonna be split 4 ways.
So we gotta add that.
So that's the opposite direction.
18.4 is a total cost of $74,000, right?
Where's, yeah, but it doesn't affect.
I know that, but
It's in there.
but it was shown
It's at 186 for sure.
in the other budgets as a 4-way split. That's why, if you're not doing it, we gotta adjust the, Knipe and the Rich and,
Which
so-
should be done before a final budget, right?
Maybe we need to put it in here. Let's put it in. That does not affect property taxes.
Okay.
So you're putting it in,
Yep, we're putting it in,
and how much?
18.5.
18.5.
And the other ones will be adjusted, correct?
No, they're already in there,
They're
at that amount.
You just have to add to this.
Well, it's gonna be under equipment, so
So
it'll be
then-
under, probably down second from the bottom.
67.
25, second from the bottom.
So how long is it gonna be till you come in wanting millions of dollars? This
Well,
year?
depending on, well, our new permit, we got that this year.
Yep.
And that's drastically changing a lot of things
Right.
that we're gonna have to do. But they're all stepped in by DNR. We have a compliance schedule
Okay.
on when we have to have it done. As far as my budget, that hasn't changed dramatically.
I didn't know.
Some things have gone up, some things have gone down. I asked for an extra person because of the extra lab work just for the new permit. We've lost a couple people over the last, I don't know how many years, but we got by on what we had, even with building the new 3 West facility. But with this extra lab work, excuse me, we're gonna need an extra person. But the nice part about that is we can offset a lot of that for what we're paying for outside lab work right now. It was over $100,000 worth of outside lab we're doing. Now, I don't think I can eliminate 100% of that. We're gonna try for as much as we can with the extra person. I've already brought somebody up from down below to start helping, but we're not keeping up with the other stuff. And Dick suggested that for right now, we just offer the overtime to the guys that are, well, I offered it. They weren't really that happy about it, but they're all stepping forward. They always do. We've got a really good bunch of guys out there that help out when needed. So right now I've got a couple coming in early and every morning and work until their regular time, just to try and get us caught up. We're still lacking. We're gonna need more.
You have 40,000 in overtime? That's in the budget here?
Yeah.
Okay, now, your full-time Bev, what's that equate to, 75?
What's another person for him?
Yeah, it says it's included in the budget, but I'm not seeing a number. It says request for an added 1 full-time is included at this time.
I don't see it in there either.
So what dollar amount are we looking? Well, most
The
of
figure
them
that was thrown out originally was $75,000, I think, with the bennies and everything.
Yeah, that's what they said, 70,000.
And
But we
I
figured,
suggested Ron.
we figured we'd offset a lot.
Because he was gonna try and offset this savings on the
lab work.
lab work. I said, when you put it in the budget, this is just my own suggestion, you can put it in the budget, but when you can show us where you're saving $75,000, that's when you put the ban on.
So the band is not in there now?
Yes, it is included in
It is
the
I look at
included.
full-time salaries, it cannot be included.
Says right here.
I don't see it on the full-time
That's,
salaries
that's,
line.
that's where my question came from.
Right.
It is added right here, and I'm saying, is the number we're gonna just go off of is 75,000? It's a number that comes to mind at a committee. I mean, for
That's
I
right.
had written down,
I didn't mean to put anybody on the spot here, but,
No,
but I just wrote down plus 70,000 is what I had.
oh, 70,000?
That's what I wrote down.
but that's not in this budget, right? I thought it was.
It says right here, if you look at the note at the bottom, it
Yeah.
says request for added one full-time employee is underlined, included at this time.
Okay, all
So
right.
it's,
So it's in the budget,
Yes.
but in order to, he's gonna prove to us
Right.
that he's saving $75,000, right, on
That,
his fees.
nothing's been decided, but that is
Before we-
exactly what you're,
Or at
It's-
least
It's gonna be a stepped-in thing, Dick.
at
We
least-
can't just wham, take everything back all at
Right,
once.
right.
It's gonna, we're working on bringing a little bit back at a time, training the new guy up in the lab.
But
So
what I'm getting at is this, is that if your salaries and full-time salaries number is $561,500 and change, that number, for the purpose of discussion right now, can actually be $490,000 and $575 for the purpose of this discussion.
Some of them is insurance.
But
Okay, but I'm just taking it off of the line.
Are you, what are you talking about, the money that I would save on the lab? Is that-
No, I'm talking about if we took away $70,000 with a full-time employee.
Oh, if we don't do it.
Right. If we don't do it, and so the purpose of this discussion, okay? Yes, Bill,
Yeah,
I realize
because
it's
it's
come
in-
out of several lines, but I'm just taking it all off of one, okay?
But there's contracts.
I understand that, but I'm just trying to, I gotta get 70, okay, fine, go down to the bottom line and take out 70,000. Take it wherever you want. The point is, you can deduct 70,000, okay? Because I'm kind of with Dick on this, and that is, well, denying this guy at this point in time, Ron, at this point in time, and seeing what the calculations are in extra overtime and lab work that your guys can't pick up or don't pick up or are unable to pick up. Because the one problem that I have with giving you a full-time guy, and this comes out of committee, is you said, you know, in 3.5 years, we got guys retiring, I need to start planning for that. We do not have that luxury. We didn't give it to Rich Satel, we didn't give it to Kevin, we didn't give it to Scott Knight, and I'm not willing to give it to you. Because we start preparing for retirements a year out, and that's just the way it is.
It's fine, I'm just telling you. how long-
Absolutely.
It'll take a minimum of 3 years to train somebody to get a license up to be able to work at our facility at a point where
Absolutely.
they can work on their own.
And I'm not pitting you against another
No, I'm
department,
just
but
telling.
Rich has got the same thing. He's got 3 newbies, and he's gotta get them up to speed because we lost several guys and I can't even remember, and so, but that's just part of the demon in the details.
Yeah, we've already lost 2 or 3 people to attrition,
Yep.
and nobody was hired back.
Sure.
Plus, we've added on another
I'd
facility.
like to make a point, though, you said it's come out of committee. I did not agree to that in committee.
Absolutely. I'm saying the discussion was in
We
committee.
have a difference of opinion.
Absolutely, we do. But I'm saying, the discussion
Somehow
came.
we're getting confused between the lab and what else is going on down there. How many motors and pumps do you have down there?
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, and what does it cost to rehabilitate those worn out pieces of junk that you continually try to make work? And we talk about overtime, that's a big part of overtime when we're trying to repair, patch and repair. And, let's not get confused, lab was the expenses of operating that worn out plant.
This
before it caved.
facility is 60 years old.
And it's way past due an overhaul.
And we used to overhaul it every 7 years.
Right.
I think we're over 14 now,
Yeah.
14 or 15 years now.
And those.
So we're keeping it together. Now, if you look,
Did we not do it 7 years ago?
Scott had always talked about that, and I thought the number was 12, but 14, whatever. We're a ways, I don't know why it got oversat, But I wanna back up just a little bit, because Kenny is,
Because we built
but Kenny,
we built number two, we
Yeah.
built the second plant
Mhm.
7 years
And
ago.
that was gonna try to relieve the old plant.
Okay,
The old
well,
plant is still doing the same amount of work.
Relieve the old plant.
but I wanna back up, because I don't want anybody to misunderstand. When I say come out of committee, I didn't say the committee is recommended. So Ken, you're right, we have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
We have a difference of opinion. It sounds like I'm more on board with Dick's thinking, but that's, you're totally entitled.
But we're
I'm
not-
just saying for the purpose of this discussion and this budget, I'd like to take that full-time expense out of the budget and view it next year, and then next year you can come in and say, hey, it cost you 36,000 more, you know, and, or whatever number. Okay, I don't know these things.
We never know what this is the best guess I've got on how many I'm gonna have on repairs.
Sure.
You never know, I could have
Double.
way more
Yeah,
than what I'm expecting. I'm just going on, I'm looking at my past bills for the last year and trying to kinda average it out to see if, and usually I'm pretty close. But sometimes I have some that really surprise me.
But we can't be treating near the amount of sewage at the old plant as we were before.
yeah, we are.
We can't. A lot of it gets pumped there, but it gets pumped from there directly to the new plant.
The new plant treats a lot more than we were counting on. If you notice, we don't have the odor that we used to have.
Right.
That new plant takes the heavier, the stronger strength load. We have a lot more gallons, and we have, and not a lot, everything goes up every year, you know, because industry grows, and that's a good thing. And we have more coming in because of that, but along with that come the problems, everything wearing out, you know?
But if
Because
I-
this stuff runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, never stops.
If Clark wants to take that person out though, you're gonna have to increase contract services, right? Because the contract service has already been adjusted down for that person, right? Or not? I mean, it's not a one-way street if I take a person out, right?
It hasn't.
Contract services were reduced.
Assuming we're gonna get the person. Or assuming we're gonna
Assuming
get the
that,
test.
the intent was, he talked about he's moved,
The people that do
somebody-
testing.
Contract services would be outside.
he's
lab.
moved somebody into lab to help with this extra testing.
Right.
Which means, the intent was not so much would have to get sent out,
Right.
so contract services was
So it
reduced.
could go down, but only way you're gonna get more done is to have these people continually be there on overtime. And is that a good solution?
And the new DNR is gonna be more tests, not less tests.
Our new permit,
Well, they're already good. They're already good.
there's the new permit, and it's incredible how much more we have to do, how much more testing. And along with that, it's like I told you with the new compliance schedule, we're gonna have to start disinfection. It's something that we haven't done in years and years and years. That's gonna be another building. That's gonna be a whole load of equipment. I figured that would probably go along with the upgrade on the plant or the rebuild. We've got a lot of stuff that's in not such good shape that we can't fix. It's bigger than what my guys can do. I've brought it up in meeting a few times. Everybody's pretty aware of the worst stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna be looking at, it's gonna be a substantial
How
amount of
much
money.
time do we have on that?
I'd have to look at the compliance schedule. I think that, I wanna say was a couple of years, and then they were talking about chlorides, that's a little longer. But that's gonna be more than likely not money spent at my plant, that's gonna probably be spent at the water plant. Because to take that out, you have to get ahead of the system, you gotta take it out before you.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, it would be astronomical for us to try and take that out at our facility. So,
You talking salt?
yep.
And that's what I thought.
And I would
There's
remind
less
you,
than-
this is an enterprise fund, this is not taxpayer dollars.
Mm-hmm.
A&R says we gotta do this, we gotta do this. But, either leaving in the salary or taking out the salary, you're still gonna come back to us and explain why you need the salary when it's an appropriate time, not a budget time, so. I just assume you leave it the way it is, but.
I'm just trying to set the place up, cause I'm getting to be kind of an old fart myself, I'm not gonna be there a whole lot longer. So I'm trying to set the place up as best I can, get it rebuilt, get enough people to staff it, so it's not a dramatic change when some of us guys leave, you know? I'd like to leave it in really good hands when I go.
Ron, are you looking at your sheet?
Yeah, which line item?
Well, John brings up a good point. Approved 19 budget for contract services is $196,000. And then if you move it over, you drop that for proposed 20, and it is line 6499.
I can tell you why, because it's been tracking lower. A lot of this stuff that we did.
So
I
this
was-
isn't the guy? This isn't-
No.
Okay.
You know, the contract services is like when we hire people to come out and work on equipment,
Okay,
and, yeah.
but it shows that for the first 6 months, you spent $108,000. That isn't a decrease at all, that's, cause that's 216 for the year. And you're budgeting 110 for next year.
On contract services, I think what he's doing, John, I think, Ron, correct me if I'm wrong,
I'd have to
is
think
you're
that.
compensating,
You're assuming.
yes,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Contract services, you know, that's a lot of things, I hire people to come out and do everything. So if I have more help, if I have enough, maybe I won't have to hire so much help.
See that, but that looks like it, based on this, you're gonna be at about 216 for 19. You had 196 budgeted, you're over 200,000 budgeted every year, and now you're budgeted 110.
Yeah,
Looks to me
110.
like you pulled out,
Yeah,
you reduced contract services to reflect a new man in another part of the budget.
Sludge to the ground, so that might be done for the year.
Okay.
Maybe a 100, I don't know,
The what, did you bet?
applying the sludge.
Those expenses might not
We're not,
be even throughout the year.
If
They
you're
might
only
be
applying the
front-end
sludge
loaded.
in the fall, so if you're not applying the sludge.
Part of
I got it, you know,
You're applying sludge twice.
I was going through a lot when I did this. This could be a mistake because I was working on a list for what we were gonna need to upgrade the plant too. So I was drawing up something for engineers and everybody else. So granted, I could have a mistake or two in here too. I've been known to do that.
One way, the way it is.
I think we're close enough, but we're gonna make sure that you understand that you gotta come back to us with actual facts and figures before you add.
Yeah, not a problem. And me and the mayor talked that over at the meeting.
Has to be outlined, has to be explained, has to be documented, please.
Not a problem.
Thank you, Ron.
You bet.
Thanks, Ron.
Yep, thanks, Ron.
All right, who's next?
I'm coming back up.
Do it. Wait a minute, we didn't call you.
You're having so much fun.
I got a phone call. So,
As long as it's good, you can stay there.
if you give me the 50 that you talked about, Rex, on those 3 items,
Yep.
I've got the other 11.5.
Okay, you wanna go make another call?
I didn't make the call, I took the call, so, somebody watching at home,
That greased.
yeah, somebody watching at home really wants to support the fire department, wants to remain anonymous, and, made a phone call, so.
Okay, so take the 11.5 out, then.
Page 44.
Thank you.
Subtract 11.5.
Yep.
Power and double again.
We're just gonna take 11.5.
So, then, you would be 51,579,
Yeah.
all right?
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody's happy.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, thanks a lot.
Good. Well, who's thinking back there? Yeah, Jessica. How we doing?
Hey, Jess.
I'm great. I just want one thing.
You wanna keep
It's
your
too
car?
early. Too early. We ain't got this budget done yet. What page we on?
55, 56, and 57, I believe. mention is a new floor scrubber, because our current one is basically junk. And Alice, the poor lady, has to scrub about 20,000 square feet numerous times a week, sometimes with a mop and a bucket, so it's just not really working for us anymore.
Floor scrubber.
That was easy.
That's in there, right? Huh?
That might,
Yeah, it's in.
that might happen sooner than later, but
Yeah,
the current one might not make it.
Make it.
July.
It's in the line of machinery and equipment, 7525 third from the bottom.
Is it easier to move it in and put it in this year, just get it done?
There's money in there.
I mean, we still got, what, tomorrow night, we're supposed to come up with our proposals for
Yep.
Hotel,
spending money.
motel.
Yeah. And we've got a lot of people very interested all of a sudden about that,
Yep.
committee members.
Yep.
But we're doing really good on the rest of the lines on the budget, so maybe we've got room to move the 6,000 to this year and get it done,
Better than having it broke down.
and then, don't have it in next year. Is that okay, for everybody?
Yep. Sounds good.
You guys got that down there?
She's smiling.
I was like, mine's super easy.
Well, I think you get it done, because I don't think you can, that one's not gonna make it.
No,
It's
it's,
the first business
yeah.
lunch you got of the year.
So we're gonna
we're
take.
limping along.
She was trying to run it.
Take what out?
You're taking 6136 out,
Take it out.
because they're gonna do it now, buy it now,
Jessica,
Yes,
today.
maintenance other, you're at 257% on this year's budget. You're only, first of all, what is maintenance other?
well, that's more, like, our elevator goes kaputski and we're out of code and all of a sudden we have so long to